Welcome to Bourbon and Data Breaches, where we cover 5 of the most interesting breaches from this last week. I'm Steve.
I'm Connor.
Well, this week in cybersecurity, we have hackers hitting fashion, crypto, airlines, and charity. Get ready because these 5 incidents are ridiculous as they are terrifying. Let's count down from mildly awful to I need a stiff drink. Starting off with story number 1. Fashion retailer Pri Mota when style meets cybercrime. So we have a Russian fashion retailer named Pri Mota that got slapped with a data leak. It looks to be massive data leak. How much? No, 22 gigs of sensitive information from this Russian fashion brand Pri Mota. You can see it posted here on the hacker forum. And this one's especially interesting because Russia and Russian companies are rarely the target of these types of events. Somewhere out there, a hacker is stealing your order history, even if you are in Russia.
Yeah, like you said, it's rare for Russian companies to get popped by these attacks. Curious if the threat actor was interested in starting their own fashion brand, maybe wanted to get some head start on some unique designs, but no, it actually looks like in this case, it was not the designs. It was more so around the customer records, right? I don't know if they're just looking to see who's buying what, maybe copy some celebrities' style trends based on the clothing style looked like there. But yeah, interesting breach.
Well, fashion's supposed to be about making a statement, but I don't think this is the one they had in mind. It's hard to be an exclusive retailer when half your customer data is out there for free. Maybe this is their way of offering a special deal to hackers. No discount codes required. Just take what you want.
It is a Russian fashion retailer, so I'm assuming it's a lot of tracksuits.
It looked like fancy tracksuits.
There you go.
Business professional.
Moving on to the next story. IPayToBribe.com when anti-corruption gets corrupted. India's beloved IPayToBribe.com, a platform where users anonymously report bribes, got hacked. The user database was exposed. Irony level is off the charts. Transparency meets breach.
Yeah, I'm going to go first on this one. There's some irony. That's what I see. A platform dedicated to fighting corruption and sensitive reports and personal info, pretty much handing a gift wrapped present to the same shady folks it was trying to expose. It's like a vigilante group leaving their own playbook lying around in the bad guys clubhouse. Tough break for the whistleblowers. Transparency is great until you're the one getting exposed.
Yeah, I haven't looked too much into this, but I'm curious. It's supposed to be anonymous. I wonder how anonymous they actually are in the sense of what data was exfiltrated here. Were the true identities of the anonymous reporters exposed? If so, it kind of feels like some threat actors or someone out there is trying to figure out who the snitches are from their perspective. Hopefully, the reporters remained anonymous through this, but my gut tells me that's probably not the case.
Yeah, this is a good reminder that a lot of cybercrime is actually organized crime. And if you are in a bribe racket and someone keeps reporting you, you might go to your in-house hacker to stop that reporting. So who knows who did this, but some of the motivations are pretty clear. Moving on to the next story. This one's a big one. United Airlines mile-high breach. United Airlines got hit with a breach involving 272 million exposed record. That's a lot of boarding passes. While the details are scarce, this is a reminder that your frequent flyer miles might not be as secure as your window seat reservation.
I'm thinking, wait, this would matter. I guess airlines handle huge volumes of personal information, payment data. And so a breach like this can lead to ID theft, fake bookings, or even worse. If you're ever checked into a flight, change your password now. I see over 172 million records allegedly exposed. The airline's probably still figuring out Like they should apologize or just offer a free flight voucher for passengers is just another thing to worry about because, delays, lost luggage, overpriced snacks weren't enough stress already.
Yeah, adding more stress to the airport travel that's already pretty high, right? But yeah, I'm curious what's all compromised here. Frequent flyer miles could be something that threat actors would like to grab and utilize for some free travel, but also a lot of identity issues, right? I've flown United. They definitely have all the data that I give them to book a flight, which is all someone else would need maybe to book a flight in my name or someone else in that same situation. So definitely some identity issues. Curious too to see if some frequent flyer miles start disappearing from people's accounts.
Yeah, those miles are pretty expensive. Those can get you free flights, and people work really hard to build up those miles. I think one thing that's important to remember, very similar to when travel sites get breached, is if someone's on an airplane, they're not at home. And so this is a who's not at home and where do they live or what's their starting location. A lot of targeting for different types of crime could be happening out of this data. So we hope not, but whenever travel's involved, hackers know where you are and where you're. Next story, and this one is a doozy. Celtis protocol, a 223 million crypto heist. You heard that right. Cetus protocol, Cetus? We can go Cetus. Decentralized exchange got absolutely plundered to the tune of $223 million in crypto. The hackers even offered a deal. Give me a pass and I'll give you your money back. Maybe, probably. Here you can see Cetus protocol, pretty website, but that is a large number of stolen crypto.
That's a lot of money. My thoughts on I'll give you your money back. Like you said, might be a big maybe at the end of that. But yes, 223 million, that's huge. And really, this is a great example of how these decentralized systems, cryptocurrency, can be very resilient, but also very catastrophically vulnerable. Big wake up call for anyone who thinks Web3 is bulletproof.
Feels like just another day at the crypto office. Maybe it's time to admit that smart contracts might be too smart for their own good. Investors got rugged, hackers get rich, everyone else learns the same lesson for the last time. Code is law until it isn't.
And while it was a little bit different, this is right off the back of the Coinbase situation. So
Coinbase was a little different. It was with a ransom of support tickets. This is just straight up crypto theft. Putting billions and billions, maybe even trillions now, I've not kept track of dollars of wealth into the internet. That's a gold mine for hackers. So, and much fewer checks and balances on that versus things like wire fraud. This is yet another crypto heist. We'll see what happens with this one. Our last story today, the Salvation Chaos meets Charity. Chaos ransomware group claim they breached the Salvation Army, a global charity that literally helps people in need. If the hackers follow through, they'll leak data from one of the most trusted nonprofits on Earth. This is yet again a rare ransomware event that is targeting nonprofits and charities.
Oh, the humanity. Nothing says we're all going to hell quite like ransomware groups targeting charities. But the Salvation Army spends its time helping people in need, and now they are the ones needing help, thanks to some greedy criminals holding their data hostage. It's not even shocking anymore. It's just a bleak reminder that in cybercrime, there's no such thing as off limits.
Yep. I think on our episode 2 weeks ago, we talked about the 5 breaches. 2 of them were healthcare related, causing issues with people who need life-saving support. Here is another one that irks me. Like you said, Frank, it seems like nothing's off limits these days with one of the most, or maybe the most well-known nonprofit globally. Hopefully, again, this doesn't cause too much major disruptions to the support they're giving people. But yeah, this is something that can damage public trust, harm vulnerable communities and individuals, potentially disrupt the services they're providing to people in need. A bit of a gut punch to humanity. I agree.
Yeah, this is an interesting one because even on KS ransomware site, they say Army offers an array of social services that range from providing food for the hungry, relief for disaster victims, outreach to the elderly and ill, clothing and shelter to the homeless, and opportunities for underprivileged children. So the gang knows what they did. We'll have to see how this one plays out. If Interpol does not get involved and have chaos on the top of their list, I would be quite shocked. This seems like the exact type of gang that Interpol would go after. Some of the gangs that go after large multinational corporations or the energy sector, oil and gas, sort of have a Robin Hood type of mystique about them, but this one has the opposite. What's the opposite of Robin Hood?
I
All I
don't
can
know.
think, Robin.
Hood Robin? Yeah.
A greedy thief,
What's the opposite of Batman?
I
That
see.
Batman thing going.
the Joker.
I see.
Mhm.
All right. Thoughts from this week? Cyber crooks be wild. Hackers hit a fashion retailer, an anti-corruption platform, a major airline, a crypto exchange, and a global charity. Which one of these made you laugh, cry, or rethink your passwords? Drop a comment. And remember, even Santa's workshop needs 2FA these days.